This is Dad Mentality. I am Rodney Glover. I'm your host. So we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. Welcome to Dad Mentality. I'm having a session with my daughter. We're just talking. So that's all you casually just talking about things. So I got a question for you that I want to talk to you about. And I mean, you're going to be the only girl on the show coming up next. So my question to you is that do you feel that it's tougher to be a male in our society, or is it tougher to be a female in our society, and why?
That's a good question, actually. For me, I actually believe that there's both pros and cons of being both a female and a male. But do I have to choose? Because for me, it's the same. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's still pros and cons of being a male and a female. So,
Well, the thing we do on this show is that we ask hard questions and we force hard answers. So is it tougher? And I mean, this is your perspective, so there's no wrong answer. But is it tougher to be a female, or is it tougher to be a male in this society? Now, if you want to just give me a pro and a con on each side, I'm okay with that. But my question is the same because I'm curious to what your perspective is in this.
that's a.
Well, let's
Okay.
start with pros. What's a pro to being a female in 2023? And what's a con? Oh, no, sorry. What's a pro for being a female in 2023? And what's a pro for being a male in 2023 in your situation?
I
Your
feel like a pro of being a female in 2020 nowadays, I feel like now it's you kind of I feel like it's hard. Okay, you kind of take me back to my old to the first question. I feel like it's harder to be a male now because I say that because in society it's a lot of pressure. Like as a female, you're kind of protected a little bit by your like family, depending on which kind of family you have, because everybody has different circumstances. But for me personally, in my experience, I feel like I was a lot. I wouldn't say sheltered, but like I feel like as a female, you're a lot more protective, especially if you have a father in your life. You're a lot more protected. And as a male, I feel like especially in black communities and black African American communities in general, as a male, it's this society thing where you have to be big and strong. You can't cry. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't be emotional. You have to be this big figure that doesn't have emotions. You have to be like the protector. You have to be this person. But also, as a female, too, you're also limited to things you can and cannot do as just being a female. So I feel like those
okay. And so I'm confused. Was that a pro or a con?
that was a con.
Only that was a con. All right. So what's
That
the
was a
pro?
con.
What do you feel is the pro for being a female and the pro for being a male?
I feel like a pro of being a female is like you get what you want sometimes. Like you kind of get things because you're a female. Like yeah, you get things. You get
Okay.
like things.
And what would you consider a pro for a male?
You're more society accepted in a say. If you understand what you're saying, I can go more depth into what I was trying to say if you want me to, but that's
What do you mean?
the issue.
I want a little bit more of that. Just give me a little, just explain what you're saying, just a little bit more.
Like, if you have, as an example, if you have a body count of 10, right? You get dapped up from your friends or whatever. But as a female, if you have a body count of 10, you get called certain words that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that is okay. That wasn't where I was expecting this conversation to go, but we're going to go there, and we're going to have this tough conversation. So now we're talking about body counts, and I understand what you're saying that if a male has a body count, it's considered a achievement, and if a female has a body count, is actually it downgrades her. But
Hmm.
why do you think that is?
I feel like it's because of, I guess, society standards, or I feel like, yeah, society standards, like, yeah, society standards. I feel
All
like
right, well,
it's
I'm gonna
because of
change the
society.
question because
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing. Here's the reality. So
Hmm.
it's always there's standards, and then there's the perception, the perception
Hmm.
of society. But then there's reality. So the thing is that a male can take 30 seconds to create an 18-year actuality. So if a male takes 30 seconds to do whatever he does, a female then grows that in her body. In other words, if you're having sex, for men, we're considered scavengers and hunters and all this other kind of stuff by society. But then a
Hmm.
female is considered the gatherer and the nurturer. So, but the thing is, if a male, if you decide to be sexually active or have sex, the male can leave. You can't. That's your child. That child is gonna grow inside of you for 9 months. And that 9 months, then you still can't just walk away. It's your child. You know what I'm saying? That person
Hmm.
became in it. So in reality, that's kind of why it is. But I don't think it's fair because the man is just as equally responsible as the woman and should not be able to walk away and should not be downgraded because she made this decision. But it also you have to take that as you are more precious. That's why you say you started this with you're protected.
Hmm.
Or you being my daughter, I mean, to me, you are more precious. You are now my sons are precious to me. I love them both, but you are a different story. I will always protect you. I will always be your protector. I will always be your provider. I will always be there. Just like I tell you about your grandfather, who, I've loved your mommy all my life, but your grandfather still treats me like I'm a dog on the corner. He still treats me that way.
Hmm.
And you know that he treats you different than anybody else too. Because you are different. You are special. You are great. And you should hold yourself to a higher standard than any man. But the other issue is when you get into the workplace, is that women are not considered on the same standard as men.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, that's the pro and cons of it. But to be honest with you, that's only because of physical standards and
Yeah.
the way that our what's the word I'm looking for? Our society, the way our
Hmm.
society has always pictured it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I mean, to me, in my opinion, there's almost even level about it, but the truth is women should always hold themselves to a higher standard because they are going to have a greater responsibility than man when it comes to sex or casual sex or this, that, and the other. When it comes to those type of things, but when it works great, it's perfect. It's amazing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm raising three great children that God has blessed me with. All three of y'all have different personalities, different attributes. So, I'm happy about everything that I'm doing as a person. But I mean, out there in the streets, there's all kinds of different things. And you know me
Yeah.
personally. I've reached out, anytime, and even, your grandmother, anytime there was a female that needed help or whatever the case may be, it didn't matter what it was, I'm
Mhm.
gonna help. But to make this conversation, I guess, short and sweet or reality, is that you were right in a lot of things that you said. I mean, it was a great. I was happy that you made those statements. But let me ask you this. Now this is just a dad interviewing his daughter, candid. None of this was planned, right? None of this was planned, right? We was
No.
messing around testing, but now we're gonna have a full blown interview. How do you value yourself?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Your
I feel like
dad's a mean interviewer. Just to let you know, he's mean. I'm
Mhm.
telling you. So, how do you
Mhm.
value yourself? When you think about that, what do you think? What comes to your mind?
I feel like I body me as like a temple. Like I feel like I just personally I can't let anybody, just mess up this temple. I just can't. And eventually, it's mistakes are, well, not mistakes, but things are going to happen in life that will help me grow as a person. But as of right now, especially my age, it's a butterfly.
Now, I want to ask you this question. You have a lot of female friends. I
Hmm.
do not want you outing anybody or saying anything like that, but my question to you is, do you feel that because you have a strong father in your relationship, B, a strong brother in your relationship, that even though you may not want to give him credit, but still you know that if your dad sent them, he's a comment. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Hmm.
But do you feel that because you have these strong men and a strong pop, a strong grandfather, like, do you feel that because you have these strong people in your life, that help you have that? Or because I mean, do you have friends in your life that don't have that, and they may not feel the same way as you?
Um, I do feel like
Yeah, don't worry about
having,
that. Mon-
I do
Monica,
feel,
tell her about these things. They're going to interrupt great things. Go ahead.
I do like having like a father or like a such thing as a father figure or some type of male interview in your life does contribute with that because in a sense in my situation I got to see how my mom and my dad like work together and like how 20 years of marriage looks like and how it kind of gave me a role model of how things are. Like, of course, they're not going to be perfect. It's marriage. But there's also really, really, really sweet times where they could be sitting on the bed with each other and just sitting there, and you can see like love between them. And I feel like that gave me a model of how a man treats a woman. And I feel like also having a brother and a grandfather also helped me too. So I feel like that. And for next time, I don't really have. I feel like the friends that I attract are like have the same mindset as me. I don't really have any people like that around me, so I don't really know. But of course, in like experiences in high school, of course I know, yeah. But I feel like a father figure or a some type of male figure does help a lot in as a teenager, especially as going teenage years. It helps immaculately.
Okay.
So.
All right. All right. All right. So now I've asked you a lot of tough questions and you answered. So now I'm gonna give you an opportunity to turn around and talk to your dad and ask any tough questions you have. And of course, this conversation is going to be between us. I don't even know if I'm going to actually air this. I really think it's something that probably should be aired. But if we decide to keep this between us forever, it will always be great. But now is your opportunity to ask your dad a question that maybe you want to ask that and it can be as tough as you want it to be. You can give me a slow ball, easy ball, work your way into it. But let me but I want to give you an opportunity to ask me a question that maybe you've always wanted to ask, and I'm going to answer it just as honestly and candidly as you just did today with me, and I appreciate that. So, your chance. What you want to do?
Okay. So my question is for you. Oh, my question for you is because I know I came out to you. How do you feel based off of that? Like I always wanted to know. Like you told me
Uh,
it's a bitsy part of it, like of me being pansexual. Like I want to know. Give me all of it. Give me the tea.
the
Give me
truth?
the
Okay.
yeah.
First of all, I don't even really know what pansexual means.
Do you want me to give you a definition?
No, I don't care about your
Okay.
definition because I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm being candid and honest just as you.
Mhm.
I believe that I've been in this world a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. And at your age, I thought that I was going to be all kinds of things that I eventually knew I wasn't. I've lived with you for all of your 16 years. And when you say to me you're pansexual, which means that you'll love anybody, it doesn't mean that they have to be a male, female, a monkey, a racehorse, whatever. But I mean, in reality, I know my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I know that and this is just me answering. I feel like I've set a great example of what real love looks like. So in my eyes, I feel like my example will win and will show you. Now, I will also say this. I don't care. I don't care who you love, as long as they love you as much as I love you. And if you can find that person that loves you as much as I love you, then I don't care what they are. They could be a monkey, a baboon, whatever. I don't give a shit what they are, male, female, anything, white, black, Japanese, I don't care. If somebody loves my daughter as much as I love her, then I'm going to accept that person or thing or what is it like? What is it called? Like y'all got hurricanes now. You can call yourself anything. What is it? I don't even know what y'all call yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You can call yourself anything. It could be a man that that what is it called that identifies as a woman but works as a racehorse, like whatever the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't care. My thing is, as long as that person loves you as much as I do, I will accept it. And so when you tell me I'm a pansexual or I'm this or that, it doesn't bother me. Well, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't. I don't even think. All I know is that I've done my job, and that's to set an example for you to give you the best example I can. And
Mhm.
then I also know that, you know, God told me I'm gonna get some grandkids. So I already know somebody, somehow, whatever you and whatever that person do, something gonna happen while I get some grandkids. And that's just between me and God. I already know. Me and him had that conversation. So I know that whatever you think you are right now, doesn't mean anything to me. And, but what makes me happy is that I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Our relationship and our childhood and everything we've been through and been together, you are an amazing person. And I'm so happy that you're my daughter. And I know you know that from your birthday party that we just had. But I mean, you are an amazing person. I'm proud of you. I love you. And the great thing is I just want to have a conversation or have a relationship with my children. You gotta understand this, and this is me being open with you. My
Mhm.
father died when I was 11 years old. That dude was amazing. You never got to be it. And all I wanted to be was what he was. And I really feel like I've done that with all my children. I've been that dude that is just an amazing father. And I love you. And I wish you got to meet him. But he was an amazing dude. And now I had a crazy life before. My dad had an even crazier life. And I hear these stories about him, and I'm like, I don't know that dude. When I was 11, that dude did anything for me. He picked me up every day. And every day he told me that I was his son and he was proud of it. So I've just lived every day trying to catch up with that example. So, it's all good though. But I feel like I've made it. Your grandfather would be proud of you. You know your grandmother definitely be proud of you. And, now I'm on a whole nother journey, even with this podcast and everything that I'm doing. I'm on a whole nother journey to better myself and to help someone else. I've helped my children. I think my children are exceptional. And I definitely think that you are going to be super exceptional. So, that's why I'm excited. And plus, when I get old, I need a child to that's going to not throw me out in the sun to burn. A child that's going to actually take care of me or whatever. Because if I live to be that old, I'm gonna be a mess. Like I'm gonna do all kinds of crazy shit. You be like, look, just ignore my dad. He does this type of stuff. So I'm all excited. But oh man. So how do you feel? What are you
I feel
thinking right now? What's in your head right now? If you can tell me what are you thinking right now? What do you think? Besides that, my dad is drunk.
I'm
I'm
proud
not
of
that
you.
drunk, but I am drunk. Huh?
That I'm proud of you.
You're proud of me?
Yeah. I'm gonna cry. Don't make me cry. This is not even the real
Hey,
thing.
this is for real. It's okay to cry. I'm already crying. I'm already crying. I'm happy. I'm happy. This made me extremely happy. It was completely, you know what? I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna let you know this. I'm not, but I might put it out there like at the end of our season, just as a bonus, just to see if anybody listens to it. But I'm gonna put it out there. But I'm extremely happy in my life right now. I'm extremely happy with you. I'm extremely happy with all my children. I'm extremely happy with my marriage. I'm extremely happy with everything. But I want you to understand that life is hills and valleys. So when things go wrong in your life, just remember, they're not gonna be wrong for long. The thing is that people don't appreciate the hills enough. When everything is going great, people don't appreciate enough that when things start going wrong, you're okay with it. And that and even making this show and trying to help people. Nah, you get one more question. You got one more question for your dad? Anything else? And we're going to end this. And I appreciate you taking the time.
So dating, yeah.
Okay. You know what? We're going to end the show tonight. It was all good. Thank you for coming in to listen to Dad Mentality. I am your host, Rodney Glover, aka the Beast One. You have just listened. Hey, I'm messing. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's
So how do you feel about your only daughter, 16 years old, and it's high school, so playing the player field, maybe getting out there, throwing her out into the bowls of fishes.
so? I'm okay with you dating. I want you to respect the rules of the '90s, which is A, hide everything.
Hmm.
Hide everything. B, don't get caught doing anything. And C, that, but like you say, you respect your body, you respect yourself, and it's good. And I want you to make sure you do that. Um, but I definitely want you to go to prom. I definitely want you. I was there for you. You wanted to go to homecoming. I want you to support. I want to support you in anything you want to do. High school, as long as your grades are right. Now, if your
Hmm.
grades drop, then we got a problem. But I want you to live life. I want you to experience everything and enjoy experiencing everything. So, I'm 100% for you experiencing things as long as we can have the tough conversations and the real conversations like we're having right now. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you lie to me or you start hiding things or this, that, and the other, that's when shit's going to change. And it's going to change quickly. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can't trust you, then that is going to end. I can't. If I can't trust you, I can't trust nothing you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I've always learned, and even with you, and you know this, because you've confronted me about things, and I've always been honest. Even when I felt like I didn't have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily just made up some bullshit lie. But I can honestly say I've never did that. You confronted me on things, and I was like, yeah, that I did it. That was me, 100%. It's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But when I say yeah, but I'm a grown ass man, I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying? So we had those tough conversations, but I need the same thing from you. That if you get caught or if you decide to do something and you're in a predicament where you need help, that you make that tough phone call. Because I will respect you a million times more for making the tough phone call of being, Dad, I need you to pick me up. I'm in a situation that I don't feel safe. Come get me. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And your dad's gonna come. And but that's what I want from you. Like be able, because if later I find out you was in that situation, you didn't call me and this, that, and the other, all hell's gonna break loose. I'm not gonna trust you at all. But
Hmm.
I feel like I've raised you long enough that we know this. We have those, like you give me, you don't let me get away with shit. Like when you when you want to say you be like, hold on, you know. And we have those conversations, and I love that about our relationship. But I feel like I have that relationship with RJ too. And I feel like I've had that with all now with you're becoming my adult children, you know. So it's all good. The bad news is, I'm gonna let your mom hear this conversation. She's gonna be jealous. And she's gonna be like, I wasn't in this and this, that, and other, but it's just us, you know. But yeah, so
Okay, I
I
do
don't
have
have a
random.
problem with dating. Are you about to ask me if you can go on a date? Because if you ask me on air, if you can go on a date, it's gonna be a goddamn problem. But
No,
I feel like you
no,
set me up.
no,
All right, go
no.
ahead.
So random scenario. I bring a person home tomorrow, and you meet them. You meet them. How would
Okay.
you react? Go.
I wouldn't. What do you mean? I wouldn't react. I wouldn't do. I mean, I first of all, I mean, okay. So good news, I'm gonna tell you this: is your brother helped you out because he brought home a chick that I was like, what all the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
We love stand her.
Whoa. Anyway, so like you brought a person home. First of all, I feel like if you brought a person home, then I gotta take it serious. So I wouldn't,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? But if you
Mhm.
brought a person home that I couldn't take serious, then you know I'm gonna fry him on point. Just being honest. If you brought a person home that I really thought I had to take seriously at that point in time, then I'm gonna take it seriously. But I mean, like I said, man, if I feel like this person is going to love you as much as I do, I'm all good. You won't have a problem. I'll give you. Go out. Y'all go to the movies. Do whatever you want. You're 16 now. I feel like if you really want to do something, you're going to do it whether I allow you to do it or not. But I'd rather allow you to do it. So if you brought them today, whatever the case may be, I would take it seriously. And I mean, first of all, don't be bringing no random ass motherfuckers over here. You know me, I ain't. I got guns and I
Mhm.
got a burial spot. So, but yeah, yeah. If he came in, some dude came in here and then he disrespected you in front of me, he's not making
Ooh.
out his house alive.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to make these choices, and I said that on the air. So yeah, you got to make these choices for real. But anyway, we're going to end it right now. Thank you for having this candid conversation with your dad. This is Dad Mentality. This was a conversation between the Beast One and the Baby Beast. This is my daughter, Trinity TT Glow. Anyway, thank you all for listening. If we actually post this, and good night.
Good night.